Hello students, welcome all. So you all know that recently President and Vice President of India elections were held. So in that context, I'll be discussing the procedure concerned with these elections. So myself, Manoj, let's begin the discussion. So in polity, one important aspect you need to remember for both prelims and mains perspective is you should know the important articles. So instead of mugging up all the articles at once, whenever such relevant institutions comes in news, just go back to your basics and prepare. For example, if there is an article about CAG, just go back to the Lakshmikant and see which articles of the constitution deal with the institution. Now, in your introduction of in GS2 polity answers, you can write article something deals with institution of CAG. Similarly, UPSC, such institutions you can use article as an introduction. Okay. Now, with respect to President of India, let's see important articles. Article 54 speaks about election, 55 manner of election, 56 the term, 57 eligibility, 58 qualifications, and 61 removal. Of these all, 61 is important. Now the candidates who wish to contest for elections, he has to file his nomination. Such a nomination has to be seconded by 50 proposers and 50 seconders. Now who are these proposers and seconders? They are the elected MPs and MLAs who support the concerned nomination. Okay. Now you would have seen in the news the PM accompanying the Srimati Draupadi Murmu before being as a candidate when she was signing these nominations. So he there the Prime Minister of India, he is a proposer. Okay. Now Article 52 says that there shall be the President of India. It means that the post can never be vacant. There can't be interregnum in the office of President of India. It has there always has to be some person who we say as President of India. Next, Article 53, the executive power of union. It says that the executive power is vested in the President and shall be exercised by him either directly or through officers subordinate to him. For example, whenever you see a central government ZO, there it would have been written as by order and in the name of President of India. It is nothing but the executive power of union is being again vested in the name of President of India. Similarly, if you see state government GO, they at the bottom of GO, they would have written by order and in the name of governor of say that state name, say Andhra Pradesh. Okay. Next, he is again the supreme command of the defense forces of the union. And he can't transfer his executive power. He cannot relegate. Okay. Article 54 speaks about the election of President of India and Article 55, the manner of election. Article 54 says, uses the term of electoral college. So what do you mean by electoral college? It signifies who can vote in the election of President of India. Generally, only those candidates, the elected members of both houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and the elected members of legislative assemblies of state. And here the term state includes both Pondicherry and Delhi. So no nominated members can participate. They cannot vote in election of President of India. Okay. Now in normal or general elections, each people carry the value of each people is one vote. But here it differs. So the value of MLA is determined by the total population of that state divided by number of MLAs. Not all MLAs, elected MLAs. And this population is not based on the recent census, but based on the 1971 census. Similarly, the total number of votes assigned to MLAs of all states. Now, the value of votes of all states is its sum, and the number you get, you divide it by total number of elected MPs. Now, this is the value of vote of MLA, this is the value of vote of MP. Let's see here. For example, see Uttar Pradesh. In 1971, population is about 8.3 crores. And number of MLAs is 403 in 2000. The value of vote of MLA is 208. Similarly, for other states, it varies. See, for Andhra Pradesh, the value of vote of MLA is 159. Arunachal Pradesh 8, Assam 116. Like this, the total value is 27,825 for Andhra Pradesh. But the total sum is this 5,43,231. To determine the value of vote of MP, we divide it by total number of elected MPs. Of 543 in Lok Sabha because 2 are nominated, and 233 in Rajya Sabha because 12 again are nominated. Now what we get is, when we divide it, we get it as 700. So 700 is the value of vote of MPs. Now three inferences are important from here. First inference is value of vote of MLAs. Each MLA differs from state to state. Okay. And next, value of MPs is different from value of state, value of MLA. Okay. Next, third one, Lok Sabha MP vote. Lok Sabha MP vote value is equal to Rajya Sabha MP vote value. So these are the three important inferences from this slide. Now, the method of election of President of India is by system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. Now, I want you to comment in the comment section, what are the other elections that follow similar procedure of system of proportional representation with single transferable vote. So what are the required votes to win? There is a separate formula, total number of votes polled divided by number of posts plus 1 plus 1. Now you all know that number of posts of President of India is only 1. So votes polled by 1 plus 1 plus 1. This is nothing but 50% of votes polled plus 1. So winning candidate has to get this many number of votes. And the manner of election, let's see. See, on the ballot paper, it is not through EVMs, through ballot paper. There are two columns. In one column, the name of the candidate, name and preference order. See, in the last elections, you all know that Srimati Draupadi Murmu and Yashwant Sinha, they too contested. So any MLA or MP who are about to cast their vote, they will give the preference order. Say suppose BJP MLA, he comes and he wants to cast his vote. Now he will give his first preference as Srimati Draupadi Murmu. Similarly, Shri Yashwant Sinha, if he wants to give, he can give second preference. Now he may or he may not give that preference. And Congress MLA, he will comes and gives 1 and here 2. So if there are, see, apart from these two candidates, if it says there are some X, Y, Z, this many number of candidates are also contesting for the post of President of India, you can give how many preferences? Till the number of candidates contesting. Let's say 3, 4, 5, they can give like this. The ML and each ML and MP. Now, how they will count the votes? See, first in the first round, first preference votes are counted. Now, if after the first round, if the candidate, say, suppose one candidate got more than 50% of votes, then he is declared as winner. However, no candidate has secured this many number of votes. What they will do is, in the first round, the candidate who has got least number of votes, say suppose Z, he has got the least number of votes, he is removed from the contest. He is declared as he is out of the contest. Now, his second preference votes, see suppose for Z, say some MLA has marked his first preference for Z. Apart from that, he has given, say for X, he has given his second preference. Now, since if Z has moved out, this second preference vote of X, it is transferred to X. So this process is repeated similarly for all other candidates. Now this is done in second round. Now suppose say in second round, again no candidate has got 50% of votes plus 1. Then we will go to third round. In second round, the candidates who has got least number of seats, say suppose Y has got the least number of seats, least number of votes, then he will be moved out, and his second preference vote would be transferred accordingly. As I said in the with respect in the case of Z, as I said, the same procedure would be repeated for Y. Say in the third round, the candidate has got 50% vote, then he is declared as winner. Now normally, of late, since past few years, for the post of President of India, generally only two candidates are standing. So mostly in first round itself, the candidate is declared. Okay. Now the term of office of President of India, the term is 5 years. If he wants to resign, he will rise to Vice President. his resignation letter, he will write to Vice President. He can be removed for violation of Constitution. However, this term is not defined in the Constitution. What do you mean by violation of Constitution? It is not defined. Now, UPSC has asked these questions like which term has, whether the term, they will give some term and they will ask you whether the term has been defined in the Constitution or not. For example, they have asked about no confidence motion and office of profit, whether these two terms have been defined in the Constitution or not. Comment in the comment section whether they have been defined or not. Next, the president, notwithstanding the expiry of his term, shall continue to hold office until his successor enters upon his office. Say, suppose the present president term has come to an end. However, the elections to the next incoming president are yet to be held, are not completed. Then, till the next president assumes the due charges, the present president will continue even after the expiry of 5 years of term. Because as I said in our first slide, Article 52 says that there shall be the president of India. It means that post can never be vacant. Okay, this is what that signifies. That reinforces the Article 52. This one. Next, Article 57, eligibility. There is no restriction on the number of times a president, the candidate can become the president of India. He is eligible for re-election, and qualifications are citizen of India. He should be 35 years of age, and he should be qualified to become the member of Lok Sabha. And he should not hold any office of profit. A procedure for impeachment. As I said in the earlier slide, for violation of, on the charge of violation of Constitution, impeachment motion can be moved. However, before moving such resolution, 14 days advance notice has to be given, and such a resolution has to be signed by 1/4 of members of the house in which resolution is being moved. Now, that such a resolution can be initiated either in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. There is no restriction, but it has to be signed by 1/4 of members. Once such a resolution has been admitted in the concerned house, it has to be signed by 2/3 of members of total membership of the house. So it is a type of special majority. So 2/3 of total membership means, if in Lok Sabha 2/3 into 545, in Rajya Sabha 2/3 into 245. Now, what are the other type of special majorities? There are 3 or 4, total 4 cases under Article 249 and Article 368 and Article 61. Between Article 368, there are 2 separate cases. Now, I want you to comment what are the types of majority, special majority. There is another term called as effective majority, simple majority. So, what are the differences? Next, Article 62. The time to holding. So, when should the election to the office of president of need to be held? So, it says that the election to fill a vacancy caused by the expiration of term of office should be completed before the expiration of term. It means that, see, the present elections, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, that elections, it was held even before the expiry of the term of the outgoing president, Sri Ramnath Kovindji. Okay. And however, in such cases where it is because of his death, resignation, or removal, in such conditions, it has to be held within 6 months from the date of occurrence of such vacancy. Okay. So these are important facts. Let's see a previous UPSC question glimpse. The value of vote of each MLA varies from state to state. The value of vote of MPs of Lok Sabha is more than that of values of MPs of Rajya Sabha. I want you to comment in the comment section what is the answer for this question. So let's see the procedure for the Vice President of India elections. Now, important articles here are Article 63. Again, it says there shall be a President of India. Article 64 says he is the ex officio chairman of Council of States. Council of States is Rajya Sabha. What do you mean by ex officio term? Ex officio. So it means by virtue of. What do you mean by virtue of? It means that since he is the vice president, because he is holding the post of vice president, automatically whoever holds the office of vice president, he becomes the chairman of Lok Sabha seats. So because he is holding one post, he is eligible to hold the other post. In such a case, we use the term ex officio. Okay. Now, Article 65 says that in the event of occurrence of any vacancy in the office of President of India, then Vice President will discharge his duties and he will have all the powers, privileges of the President of India in such cases. Okay. How Vice President of India is elected? Article 66 lays down the procedure. He is elected by the members of Electoral College. Now, the Electoral College of President of India is different from Electoral College of Vice President of India. Here, all MPs of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, not only elected MPs, all MPs. However, the elected MLAs of states are not included. I hope you understand the difference of the Electoral College of in the case of President of India elections and Electoral College in the case of Vice President of India. The system is system of proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. And the voting at such election shall be by secret ballot. So, again, here ballot system is used. Now, I want you to comment in the comment section. Open ballot system is followed in which selection? Whether in India, for any election, we will follow this open ballot system. If so, in which election? So, eligibility. Citizen of India, 35 years age. He should be qualified for election as a member of Council of States. So, President for the Lok Sabha and he Rajya Sabha should not hold any office of profit. That again, as I said, it is not defined in the Constitution. Now, Article 67 says the term is 5 years from the date on which he enters upon his office. Similarly, notwithstanding the expiration of his term, he continues to hold his office until his successor enters. Like as I said in case of President of India, similar is the case with Vice President of India, since the post can never be vacant according to Article 63. In case of President of India, Article 52 says that there shall be. And here Article 63 says that there shall be a Vice President of India. Now, how he will be removed? Constitution doesn't define under what conditions, on what grounds he can be removed. Whereas in case of President of India, it says that President of India can be removed for violation of Constitution. Now, the same is not case with the Vice President of India. Now, how he will be removed? By resolution of Council of States. That is, it means that such a resolution can only be moved in Rajya Sabha. Whereas in case of President, it can be moved in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. But for Vice President, it can be initiated only in Rajya Sabha. And it should be passed by all the then members. This term, all the then members, is very important. It is a effective majority in this case. Effective majority means, see, suppose you all know the 245 seats are there, 245 MPs are there in Rajya Sabha. Say, suppose some 45 seats are vacant. It means all the then members means, now suppose there is a resolution for removal of Vice President of India, then only 200 members are there. So you need to get 50% of 200 plus 1. If you want to remove, that means you need to get 101 votes for the removal of for the passing of resolution of removal of Vice President of India. This is the term. What do you understand by the term? The then members, the vacancies are removed to calculate the required number of votes for the removal. What if the election is disputed? Article 71 of Constitution says that any question of whether the election is valid or not, it is decided by Supreme Court. And its decision is final. So even Supreme Court can remove the Vice President of India if it feels that he or she has committed electoral malpractices. This is Article 71 says that. However, if suppose after 6 months of election of Vice President of India, the Supreme Court declares that there have been some issues with respect to there are electoral malpractices, so Vice President of India may be removed. Supreme Court gives an order. Now, within these 6 months, some decisions would have been taken by the Vice President of India, right, or President of India. Such decisions would not be considered invalid. All the such decisions are considered valid. This is what this statement, this paragraph says. And Parliament can pass a law for any matter relating to connection with the election of President or Vice President. So Parliament may by law. It can modify the existing procedure through a law. Okay. So this is about the election of President or Vice President of India. I hope this video was helpful. If you find helpful, I request you to share this among your friends. And in the description box, I have given the Telegram channel where I would be sharing the daily current affairs, important articles, and periodically I would be releasing the important news items as a discussion videos. Thank you, guys.